Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with my weekly comic book live stream. Um, we're actually close on time this week. Oh boy. Actually, we're on time for when we said we'd be on this week, so we're actually on time. So yeah, on time. All right. So now normally plan is do these on Wednesdays, but I couldn't get to the comic book shop yesterday, so I couldn't pick up my new comic books. So I couldn't do the live stream with the new comics. I didn't have the new comics. Anyway, so excuse me. Let's dive right in, shall we? We'll start with Captain America #1. The 20th, 10th, 50th, 3 billionth. I don't know. There have been a lot of Captain America #1s anymore. It's hard to keep track of them. Anyway, so start off months ago, the Cyan Mountains of Russia. During, I'm presuming that the opening interlude takes place during the events of Secret Empire. Woman's a prisoner of Hydra. Explain, kind of gives a little bit of Russia's past when it comes to Nazis. Basically, kind of says, why would Hydra be any different? Anyways, she is rescued by a single solitary woman, Selene. Fast forward to now, National Mall. Squad of nuke soldiers is shooting people up, and Cap and Bucky intervene. Okay, so quick recap on what nuke soldiers. Nuke was Weapon 7 in the Weapon Plus program. Basically, a super soldier controlled through constantly administered chemicals to either increase or decrease violent tendencies. And someone in the government decided to make a whole bunch of them. Yeah. The team in Weapon X actually faced off against a squad of them a while back. So, as well as the original. Anyway, so Cap and Bucky take out this group. Who can't, they haven't been able to how's the better to put this? They haven't been able they haven't been able to accept the differences of the various Captain Americas from Secret Invasion or from Secret Empire. There's a wounded civilian. Cap manages to get him a medevac and use a Stark Tech field gun to take down the remaining nukes, as nukes are also kind of cybernetic, have a degree of cybernetics as well. Of course, it means Bucky's gotta flee the scene before anything goes down. Anyway. turns out that as General Ross led a cell resistance against Hydra, government has seen fit to turn a blind eye to his past sins and give him a job again. Also helping Cap out is Sharon Carter, formerly Agent 13 of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's aged a bit due to being stuck in an alternate dimension, which had where time moved differently. So Ross wants her help and Bucky's help, making sure that on stopping what's happening, figuring out where these nukes are coming from. Cap tries to get her to share some information with him, but she won't. But we also learned that, of all people, Baron Wolfgang von Strucker is being praised by the president for aiding in the destruction of several Hydra splinter groups. That's brain-breaking. Anyway, after dinner and a workout, we have basically kind of going back and forth. Samara, Russia, and Brooklyn. And in Brooklyn, Cap fights off some muggers. One of them shouts "Hail Hydra" at him, while Selene and the woman she rescued at the beginning of the issue publicly execute one of the Hydra troops from the beginning as well. And Selene says that Hydra is dead. The future belongs to us. Now, while all this is going on, we're getting some narration from Steve. This is starting from the entire issue is narrated by Steve. But the problem he's facing is the world he's come back to. One that Hydra didn't just conquer, but broke. We have, all of us, forgotten something. Forgotten how hard it is to believe the dream. Hold on to the dream in the face of chaos. How hard it is to be truly American. We have forgotten that true freedom is a problem. A question, not an answer. Freedom from what? For what? And having lost our way in the storm, we found shelter. An antidote for the chaos. This is not the story you see in the papers, but it's the story you see in her eyes. Hydra conquered the people. That is the story they tell. No, the people forgot. We forgot. I forgot. And then we conquered ourselves. As I said, that's where the issue ends. And here it looks like next issue will introduce a group of behind-the-scenes villains called the Power Elite. Also, in case everyone was wondering, I occasionally do mention a book of the week. Book of the week. All right, moving on. We got Cosmic Ghost Rider #1. Okay, so this is going to be an odd one. First off, this spins out of a story in the recent Thanos series called Thanos Wins. Thanos goes to the future, and ends up in a future where he's won, and he basically rules the universe. And his black right hand is none other than the Cosmic Ghost Rider, formerly known as Frank Castle. Well, during the course of that story, Frank got killed. The issue begins montage. Basically, it's a montage. Soldier. We just got a shot of Cap, but Frank running through jungle. It's presumably in Vietnam. Dead family. Him and his family shot up in Central Park. War on Terror. Classic, Frank shooting up bad guys scene. Death. Frank dead and lying in the rubble. Hell, standing in front of Mephisto. Spirit of Vengeance, riding his version of the Ghost Rider motorcycle. Madness. Devour. You see him talking with Galactus. Power, cosmic power. Thanos. Death. And death. Now we're in Valhalla. And he just got his head slammed up against the wall. So he goes head to head. He takes on one of the gods head to head. He's sitting having a drink, and Odin shows up because, hey, it's Valhalla. Odin's bound to wander about here and there. And of course, his means of greeting Odin are unconventional, to say the least. Apparently, we learned that the name of the person that Frank picked a fight with was Cold Axe the Grave, and that Frank cut his nose off. Mainly because, well, Frank wanted to put him down for good, but it turns out you can't really kill anyone in Valhalla. You take a man's nose, it'll make him think, though. So, Frank and Odin have themselves a chat. And Odin asks, why do you rage against your reward? Because Frank doesn't think he deserves one, honestly. He always told himself that when his turn came, it would be his turn to be punished. Now he's in Valhalla, the warrior's heaven. Well, Odin brings him to a room where all of his gear is housed from when he was Ghost Rider. And Odin says that if Dolph's right, if he believes the attorney will be better spent fulfilling some unfinished, vengeful task, then so be it. He has the magic to send him to any time and any place in all creation. But you got to decide now. And so he once again becomes the Cosmic Ghost Rider. And he has Odin send him to Titan. So he arrives on Titan. So we get some narration from Frank's narration. Here's a question ain't never been asked. How did Thanos survive his infancy to become what he became? Who let that happen? After all, in a world where time travel and time-traveling assassins are fairly common, how come no one ever went back and killed this evil little bastard in his crib? Well, here's your answer. Someone did. Or maybe not. He tries to kill baby Thanos. He's already strong enough to fight him. And so Frank inflicts the penance stare upon baby Thanos. Does nothing to him. Because baby Thanos is innocent. But he reflects that when he was King Thanos' black right hand, Thanos would have Frank give him his penance stare every morning. Make him inflict all the pain and misery and dish out on the universe right back onto his evil soul. And he loved every minute of it. It says can't kill him, can't leave him. If he stays there, he'll turn into a monster. And so Ghost Rider Frank decides to take Thanos with him. Yeah, that's our final image for the issue. This is going to be an interesting. I can already say this is going to be an interesting series. Very interesting. Anyways, moving on to Avengers number 4. All right, so the Avengers split up because, hey, splitting up is always the best thing to do in a time of crisis. But to be perfectly honest, it probably was a good idea. So anyways, Odin tells Thor about his primordial Avengers. Agamotto, the bearer of the Star Brand, the Rider, the Panther, the Phoenix, Iron Fist, and himself. And he pretty much says that, Loki's final host cannot be killed by the Odin sword or even Jarnbjorn. Nothing will stop them. But there's something he can try. And so Thor and She-Hulk go into one of the various rooms within Asgard and look for it. Meanwhile, mountains of Greece, Olympia, home of the Eternals. Doctor Strange and Iron Man show up to find the Eternals are dead. And it looks like it was something they killed themselves and or each other. Icarus is still alive and explains that the truth tore them apart. And explains that the Eternals weren't here to protect mankind. They were here to cultivate humanity's virulence. To the space gods, we are a useful pathogen. He explains only the Unimind can stop them. And that's presumably that. It's so sad because death is always so final in comic books. Meanwhile, Alpha Flight Space Station, Black Panther and Captain Marvel study one of the bugs. They have a similar, they're called the Horde, a swarm of cosmic locusts believed to have devoured entire solar systems. They're longtime enemies of the Celestials. And they're teeming with the same energy as the final host. And apparently they're also coming out of the dead bodies of the Celestials. Then at the North Pole, Loki, the final host, and Steve and Cap view a celestial underneath the ice. And Loki tells us Sail has been there for 4 billion years. This Alpha Celestial has been here rotting for 4 billion years. It did not come to Earth to experiment, but it's said to die a very sad, exceedingly painful death. But yeah, and the final host be seen again doing their thing. And Ghost Rider goes after them solo. And learns that his car can work underwater, Hellfire and all. In this frozen chamber in Asgard, in old Asgard, She-Hulk and Thor keep smashing through the ice until they get to the blood of Ymir, the first of the ice colossi, father of all giants. However, the cold gets to Thor, and She-Hulk has, some puny Thor is cold. Why not say so? Hulk warm. Hulk warmest one there is. Then it would seem that they huddled together for warmth a lot. No, Thor totally sucks. It's pretty much implied that Thor and She-Hulk slept together. Which, okay, good for them. The first host came to Earth billions of years ago because the primordial Avengers had killed that one Celestial. With Ymir's blood, Hulk and Thor emerge. Hulk simply explains that she wants to smash things down. Thor says, they shall do. With this new weapon, there will be much smashing indeed. And Odin tells him, make a good thunderous show of it, boy, just as I once did. When it's finished, when it's all come to its oh so predictable end, and you all lie in blood-drenched ruin at the feet of the final host, face your judgment like a god. And we see Odin standing over his fallen comrades. Oh wait, it's April to Midgard once and for all, just as I should have done. We see him kneeling over his fallen comrades, saying, "To hell with you, star-spawned bastards." And the story should pick up, I want to say in 2 weeks with number 5, in 2 weeks or next month. You're right, not too far off. Next up, we've got Infinity Countdown Champions number 2. All right, so Nova, Miss Marvel, Vision, Wasp, Ironheart, and Snowguard are taking on the Warbringer and his Chitauri horde. Or the Chitauri Warbringer and his horde of Chitauri soldiers. And of course, they're being overwhelmed. And then Nova, well, Warbringer monologues a bit. Nova realizes what they have to do. Leave the soldiers alone, focus on Warbringer. And so they eventually take him down. Nova announces that, hey, your leader's been defeated. And he commands them to stop. And so they do. It's how the Chitauri are. And then Thanos stands up and, explains to them, well done. They must be so proud of themselves. They fought for Thanos and won. And Ironheart taunts him a little bit, and he destroys him. Basically destroys her armor. And he explains that he could kill her in an instant. But she has provided him with a moment of amusement and defeated an irritant. So they may leave to enjoy whatever pitiful lifespan still awaits them. So they get back aboard the ship with Warbringer in custody. Rise freaked out, which, hey, I'm sorry. I think she is more than, that's more justified being freaked out about. So yeah, Viv does what she can to help her, and they talk a bit. And apparently there is an Ultron drone in stealth mode hiding on their ship. As they get to a Nova Outpost Wheeler Delta, and Scott Adis is there. Takes custody of Warbringer. And also takes Nova's Black Nova helmet, as he doesn't have the proper training for it. He's not authorized to possess it and have not received proper training and certification. This also takes away Nova's costume, so he's now just Sam Alexander. And that's for their point in the beginning, in the lead up to Infinity Wars. We'll see if Nova Corps will probably be involved, but I don't think the Champions are going to be involved further. Anyways, moving on to Deadpool number 2. So, once again, the Champions, obviously before their jaunt into space, the Champions are fighting Juggernaut. It's not entirely going all that well when suddenly a giant space bike shows up. And Spider-Man just says he's pretty confident in the Champions, but he thinks they're going to need the Avengers, maybe even the West Coast Avengers and the Great Lakes ones. Definitely the X-Men. You know what? Call everyone, all the people. Apparently they're going, but the Avengers have pressing business up in Croton on Hudson, where Deadpool is having lunch with some of the food court employees. They're arguing, and he makes a point of stopping him from. And he almost attacked one of them for insulting Notting Hill. Then Cap shows up. And explains that everyone can all agree that You've Got Mail takes the prize when it comes to romantic comedies. And Deadpool breaks his sword on Cap's shield. They talk for a bit, and then Deadpool runs. Tries to get Negasonic Teenage Warhead to destroy the office. And she's just like, no. And I just get out of the mall and hits Ghost Rider's car with a sister from Cap's shield. And the rest of the... And of course, the rest of the Avengers, the new team from the new series were there. So violence ensues. Deadpool gets one of his arms cut up, gets kind of sort of disemboweled, gets one of his arms cut off, electrocuted. She-Hulk kicks him in the nuts. Doctor Strange does some magic on him. Thor hits him in the head with his hammer. And, well, okay, maybe I can pencil you guys in. So, while Wade puts himself back together in his office, and gets flipped up by Negasonic. They explain to him what's going. They begin to explain to him what's going on. And he basically says, "Okay, look, there's only one way he's going to help him. Hire him." And yeah. Oh yeah, the guy on the giant space bike starts puking all over the city. You know, because hey, that's what giant cosmic space bikers do occasionally. Deadpool says, "Okay, yeah, so you're not hiring me. Gotcha. Plausible deniability, yeah." Okay, no. Give us the weapon, and we'll like, no. And he pull the smoke bomb vanishing act on him. And because of close quarters, it actually kind of works. So, oh, Bob. Anyway, so he meets up with Bob, who runs Hold Up Store, working at, and the two of them go to Hold Up Storage because it's apparently the last of his storage units. And he explains that once he actually was a Herald of Galactus, and he kept his tricked out cosmic surfboard after Galactus fired him. Yeah. Turns out that Gruffin wants to regurge Earth and make it suitable to give birth to his spawn, or to its spawn, and well, Deadpool can't stop him. And according to Deadpool, making babies to the planet is all the gross. And looks at the weapons, and the weapon, or at least what Wade figures to be the weapon, doesn't work. Hopefully there's something bigger, but yeah. So that's Deadpool number 2. All right, moving on to Hunt for Wolverine, Weapon Lost, number 3. So Frank, Misty, and Daredevil discover Cypher not dead, but very, very badly injured. Throat slit, injured. They take him back to the Sky Charger. And Daredevil and Misty look around. Turns out that their assailant is waiting for them, and the Sky Charger messes with Daredevil's radar senses and with Daredevil's senses, and so yeah. Turns out it's Albert. Okay, so who's Albert? Albert is an android version of Wolverine, made by Donald Pearson, the Reavers, years and years ago. He was also he was basically the father figure of sorts of another cyborg who was made to look like a little girl named LCD. LCD had a big bomb hardwired into her, but they managed to make it so that the bomb was no longer active. They went from being enemies of Wolverines to frenemies. And they kind of vanished for a while. Well, anyways, so Albert and Daredevil duke it out. Albert gets a good cut on him. Sky Charger manages to do his magic on Cypher. And like I said, they go after him, and between Misty, Frank, Daredevil, and eventually even Cypher, they manage to take down Albert. That's Albert with the authorities, and went along their way. So, as no other leads turned up anything promising, Misty and Frank started drinking. Turns out that Gorgon of the Inhumans is really into home brewing, and he uses these special hops that only grow up on the moon. He claims it's like 100 proof. Meanwhile, Cypher is, checking his phone. We also learned what it is that almost had Missy and I retire, which was she lost her mojo. She got hired to do some PI work, but a little like the guys who hired them were bad guys. And they were using her to get intel on the rival gangs so they could move in. But she figured out what was going on and stopped it all, And she was more mad at herself that, she didn't see it right off the bat. Anyways, her and Frank get closer, and while this is going on, Cypher is going through a smartphone. Then he comes up, and they said to go back to Chicago. They go back to the guy they talked to, security guard, who may have posted about having seen Wolverine on Twitter and then promptly deleted it. But from what Cypher found, the day after Missy talked to the guy, he completely vanished from the internet, which was odd because, like I said, social media is the guy's only hobby. They get there and find a dead body, and the fact that it's a trap, as in the apartment blows up, kind of trap. That's where the issue ends. Anyways, moving on to X-Men Gold number 31. So, okay. So Mesmero has been remanded to Robert Kelly Correctional Facility. Morning after the wedding at the Claire Byrne Hotel. I kind of love that combination of Claremont and Byrne. Rachel, Nightcrawler wake up. Well, right. Prestige wakes up. Nightcrawler's already awake. And, oh, there's Mesmero. They argue something. Of course, about to start a fight. But he's not there. Turns out he's left part of his mind, in hers. He's just been making adjustments, improvements, really. And also in the hotel, Colossus tries to leave. But he was planning on leaving without saying goodbye. And he can't be focused on, doing right if he's working with, if he's, until he works through his feelings for Kitty. She says she loves him, and he's like, please don't say that. There are, it doesn't break our hearts any less, basically. That Kitty still loves him. And now this is where things get weird. Fast forward to the future. It's a Days of Future Past style future. Mutants in camps wearing jumpsuits. And Forge has managed to put together a jammer to basically undo everyone's powers. But it's only worked for 3 minutes. And so it works. Sentinels come pouring down on the X-Men. Ink gets killed in classic Days of Future Past style. Flittered by a Sentinel. Storm with Ector 1. Enola gets killed. Avalanche manages to make a way out for the X-Men. Armor comes along. Kitty gets thrown through one of the Sentinels and mucks it up. Storm gets killed. They manage to get away from the camp, but in Jersey, they get shot or they get attacked and are cornered by Rachel, who's gone full hound, and apparently one of the human security guards from the camp. She knocks out Kurt, apologizes while the security guard shoots at the rest of the escaping X-Men. And then she snaps Scott's neck. But she's stopped by Pyro and Iceman. And it turns out that it looks like this is actually happening. She actually attacked Kitty and Scott. Young Scott, but still. Thankfully, young Scott isn't actually dead, but still. That's where that issue ends. And that's also lending more and more credence to my theory that Iceman and the new Pyro are totally going to end up a couple. All right, moving on to Astonishing X-Men number 13. So this is going to be basically beginning of a new era. New everything. Lineup, create a team, so on and so forth. Which kind of sucks because the lineup they were using in Astonishing was a good lineup that for the most part didn't really have any overlap in the other team books. So anyway, so things kick off with Havoc fighting a giant monster. And then they manage to stop the giant monster, and then the Avengers show up. And once again, it's the current lineup. And him and Tony have a bit of an argument. And Tony kind of lets it on that they were kind of handling it. Cap and Havoc talk a bit. Kind of, hey, figure out, take some time to figure out what you need to do. And when you know that, the rest of the world will accept it or not. Anyway, turns out that in Durham, North Carolina, Miss Sinister is still running around, and she has herself a lab. She's committing. She's, about to start mucking with somebody, and then the Reavers attack. Pierce manages to take her down, and she's loaded into the truck. Loaded up and taken to someone. Anyway, so Havoc shows up at the mansion, says to try and teach a class, recruit. Rockslide gives him all the shit. And basically says, you aren't an X-Men anymore. It's like, so he ends up leaving. Turns out that the Reavers were remanded to the custody of I'm not sure if it's general. I can't really see rank. So Colonel Callahan. I want to presume General Callahan, who's also working with some guardsmen. But they're working for him because the Reavers were remanded to Callahan's custody. He's not really liking. They have an argument, and yeah. Anywho, Alex has a dream where he's talking with Bastion, which causes it to blow a hole in the wall of the motel he's staying in. So he goes to Cambridge, talk to Beast. He was teaching a class about mutation. And he tries to recruit Al. Of course, Al tries to recruit Hank to his team. And then they're attacked by the Reavers, who it turns out are after Beast, not Alex. But it turns out that Beast has one possibly mutually assured destruction alternative. The dead body of the resurrected zombie body of Banshee. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we get another countdown to extermination one-off where Warpath and Dazzler are the last two X-Men alive, in New Concordia. Dazzler tells him it's been an honor to fight by his side, and Warpath returns to the Cinnamon. And then shortly after that, Sentinels destroy them. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Extermination next month, I believe. Anyways, moving on to Weapon X number 20. So, the Weapon X team is heading towards the Sickle Mother Carrier, which is probably one of the most god-awful ugly things I've ever seen. Look at that thing. I mean, I'm sure it has its. I'm sure that it's utilitarian and whatnot, but I mean, you can be utilitarian and still have a sense of style. Sabretooth asks, "How the hell does that freaking thing even stay in the air?" To which Omega Red replies that the Mother Carrier is Russian. It stays in the air because it is too stubborn to fall down, which makes sense. So, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so first Warpath attacks it, and he ends up facing off against the Winter Guard, and actually holding his own pretty well against them. Anyway, so I'm gonna say this: I don't like the artist that got working on this issue. Anyway, so Omega Red talks with his brother, and he explains that he's aware that that his brother called the secret police on him. Also, he's named his pet tiger Kotick. I'm going to say this. I might not be too fond of the artwork on this issue. Seriously. Look at that. But I'm absolutely loving Greg Pak and Fred Van Lente's handling of Omega Red. This is quite possibly the most interesting rendition of Omega Red ever. And that's in over 25 years of the character existing. Then Creed, Domino, and Deathstrike jump in and go out and take on the rest of Sickle. While they're doing this, Sabretooth gets into the command center of the Mother Carrier. And he sends Foreigner a live feed from what's going on. Explains that, they're probably not considered international terrorists. And then Warpath attacks Sabretooth. Next issue should be interesting, that's for sure. I like the idea of making Omega Red a member of the team. I don't know, it feels like they can do something with the character. So anyways, that appears to be it for this week's batch. Well, as next week, should be back to our regular time of Wednesday night-ish. We will, and yeah, it should be that's it for this week's match. But as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Should be back, as I said, should be back with this live stream next Wednesday night. Over the weekend, we'll be doing a review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hopefully, also another building the team. That's pretty much all I got for now. Like I said, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to social media and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.